Hi everybody, I'm Brian Kinard, your trusted Hilton Head area realtor and 1/4 of Cruising with Kinard, your guides to living, working, and playing in the low country. So let's get right to it. You think you've heard or read somewhere that you can stop making your mortgage payment because of the CARES Act, which was the economic response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And that is correct. You did hear that because of the CARES Act that you can stop making your mortgage payment. However, not so fast. As always in life, terms and conditions apply. Also, anytime there's a crisis or blood in the water, you got to start watching out for the sharks and the vultures who are circling. So stay tuned to this video where I'll cover some of the basics of the CARES Act and what it provides for mortgage relief and mortgage forbearance, such as who qualifies, how to apply, and what are those sharks and vultures up to. All right, first things first. If you're one of those fortunate souls out there who's basically being paid to stay at home and day drink in your activewear and homeschool your kids, then pay your mortgage. And thank your lucky stars that the only thing you have to deal with is your kids bouncing off the walls all day. But keep watching this video because I put money on it that you know somebody out there that could get some help and find this information useful. And why should you pay your mortgage if you can? Well, because just like we're trying to flatten the curve in our healthcare system so that we don't strain their limited supply of resources of bed, ventilators, doctors, and nurses, you don't want to have a rash of missed mortgage payment from people who could actually pay their mortgage, because then that would send the mortgage service providers into a tailspin, which in turn could lead investors to stop buying mortgage-backed securities, which would then dry up mortgage lending, which would then turn to the downfall of housing prices in the housing market. Or the government would step in, or could step in, and utilize capital to save the mortgage service department when really they could be using that capital elsewhere where it's better needed. And I'd say that we all have enough on our plates right now, so if you can pay your mortgage, pay your mortgage. If you can't, thankfully there's some help. Now that we've covered that, let's cover some of the basics of the CARES Act and the mortgage relief provided. First, the CARES Act allows anybody that has a federally backed or owned loan that is having financial hardships due to the pandemic to request 180-day forbearance on their home loan. And at the end of that 180 days, to request an extension of another 180 days. Before we go any further, let's cover forbearance, because it's important to remember that forbearance is not forgiving your loan or the debt that you owe. It is just moving those payments and that debt to a later date and time. Now, that being said, you cannot just stop making your mortgage payment. You must request this from your mortgage service provider. And please, please, please save yourself some future headaches and problems. Get everything in writing. So how do you find out if your loan is federally owned or backed? Well, with more than 50% of home mortgages in the United States being federally owned or federally backed, chances are yours is. The first thing you can do is call your mortgage service provider, as they are obligated to give you the contact details of the loan owner to the best of their knowledge. Or you can check the links that I provided in this post below, as there's some ways that you can search online as well through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. What if my loan isn't federally owned or federally backed? Well, there's no direct relief or provided under the CARES Act. However, if your loan doesn't fall under the programs, then I would reach out to the banker and see if they have any type of relief for their borrowers. And like anybody else, if you are able to secure some type of forbearance, get everything in writing. Okay, so now we've covered some of the basics of the CARES Act and the mortgage relief options that it has. What are the sharks and the vultures up to? Well, shady shark and vulture stuff as always, like trying to get people to sign the titles over to their houses, offering all these things for high upfront fees, directing you to send your mortgage payment somewhere else, and all the same old tired scams that we see year after year that even the savviest person can fall for. At the end of the day, your mortgage service provider is not going to call you on the phone and ask you if you don't want to make your mortgage payment for the next 180 days, nor should they be calling you on the phone asking for personal information such as your credit card numbers for all kinds of pie-in-the-sky promises. This is going to be something that you need to initiate, and it's probably going to take a little bit of time, because as I'm sure you can imagine, there's a lot of people out there in the country right now that are going to need help with their mortgages, and they're going to be on the phone with their mortgage service providers trying to get this help. And remember this, the person on the end of that line is human and has stress in their life just like you do. So maybe a little bit of patience, a little bit of empathy, and you'll get the same in return, and have some comfort in knowing that there is a little bit of help out there for folks with federally backed mortgages. So there you have it. There is a little bit of relief for some homeowners out there through the CARES Act. And if I can be of any help to you or your family or friends in real estate, give me a call, as I would welcome the opportunity to be your guide through the process and help you make an informed and educated decision based upon your real estate goals and current market conditions. Till next episode, stay tuned to Cruising with the Kinards on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube for fun and informative stories about living, working, and playing in the Low Country. Bye now.